Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praise to the Most High Yah. Giving thanks and all praise to the Most High Yah for waking us up to letting us know that we are the Israelites of the Bible, the Negroes scattered to the four corners of the earth, through to the transatlantic slave trade, the Arab slave trade, the Pacific slave trade. Shalom, shalom to you all. Thanking the Most High Yah for sending the Messiah, coming down him, coming in the flesh to die for Israel, the Negroes scattered to the four corners of the earth. Thank him for the Holy Spirit to rule out, to lead us and guide us into all truth, which the Holy Ghost have done that. Baruch chapter 2, verse 30 said, Israel will wake up in the land that's not theirs, land of their captivity, and will remember themselves. And that's what we're doing today. Shalom to you all. Y'all see the title, King David and Bathsheba, or Boaz and Ruth. Two different relationships. And the thing about it, they both all come from the tribe of Judah. Y'all know, I know each and every one of y'all know the story. I want to go over this story. This story is really, really good because this is something, a teaching that we can get out of these two stories. King David being the mighty man, killing 10,000. As a little boy, he was a little shepherd boy, was able to kill lions. They tried to come and get the sheep. He was anointed king, took Saul's place, and came very famous in Egypt. And you got Boaz, one of the one of the good guys in Israel, one of the guys that had a little business, had land, was giving our people work to do. You know, when you research the story, they was getting grain up. Boaz was a good guy. So we got two good guys, one famous and one was just like, you know, I would say me. I would be a Boaz. You know, I wasn't rich, you know. So I couldn't be King David. But anyway, these two stories are really, really good. I love them. I love both of the stories because it's very teachable in both stories. And when you read them, you can get, you know, caught up in them. So this is something that, you know, we should even teach our kids. You know, I wish I would have taught my kids these stories growing up. These some really, really good stories. Shalom to you all in the chat. Ready to get it in. See if some brothers are gonna come on a little bit. If they don't come on, we're gonna still get it in. I got two videos I want to play. They're real good videos. First, we're gonna start out with King David and then Bathsheba, and we're gonna go into Boaz and Ruth. Real good stories. So. Shalom, shalom, blood, Cuban. Shalom, Sheba Yah, Tazara Yah. Shalom, you love Yah. Shalom, how you doing? So ready to get it in, y'all. I ain't gonna be on here long. You know, we still have to go to the plantation. At least I do anyway. I can't wait till the day when I say, hey, I don't have to get up and go to work tomorrow. That's gonna be great, y'all. So before, I'm just gonna read a little bit about Shalom, Fasting Warrior. How you doing, brother? So before, I'm going to read a little bit. Oh, there, coming in. Shalom, shalom, easy. How you doing, brother? Shalom. So I'm going to read a little bit about King David and 2 Samuel 11, how he met Bathsheba. Read a little bit, talk a little more, then we'll play this video. So King David, 2 Samuel, chapter 11, starts out, and it came to pass after the year was expired, at the time when the kings go forth to battle, that David sent Joab and his servants with him, all Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon and besieged Rabbah. But David tarried still at Jerusalem. Verse 2, and it came to pass in the evening time that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself and the woman was very beautiful to look upon. And David sent and inquired after the woman. And one said, is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, the wife of Uriah the Hittite? And David sent messengers and took her, and she came into him, and he laid with her, for she was purified from her uncleanness, and she returned unto her house. So she was on, the monthly cycle. She was purified. After the 7 days, she was bathing, and King David looked upon her, and King David liked what he saw, and lust became the end of the King David, and he sent for another man's wife. And then when she came, it says they laid together. Now the thing is, right, we don't read in none of these scriptures when she was forced to lay with King David. King David was one of the what at that time was the famous man Israel. He was the king of Israel, of both the southern kingdom and northern kingdom. It's before they split up. So he was king, and he had a history that, Saul kills 1,000 men, King David kills 10,000. So he's very popular. So what would a woman do at that time? Can y'all women just, I ain't gonna say visualize because I want nobody to lust, but can y'all imagine that y'all living in our time, and we got the kingdom back, and our king, was looking like what's that dark skinned guy with his Ezra, whatever his name is, where black women go crazy over, and your husband go out to battle, and he call you up in the king's house and mansion. How many of y'all would be able to say, look, I am married and I love my husband? Because a lot of women go crazy over him. I wonder, would y'all be able to resist that? And men, for us being kings, if we was a king at that time like King David, and we know we can have basically any woman what we want, but King David already had a few wives at that time anyway. How many of us will be able to withdraw that lust to say, hey, even though she's beautiful, I shouldn't have been looking, I should have walked back in the house or whatever. How many of us will be able to withdraw that and be able to say, you know what? I'm not going to do that. This woman has a husband and he's fighting. He's one of my soldiers. How many of us can be able to do that? That's something to ask one another. Because now the time that we living in now, this is the thing. We know a lot of men are not crazy over celebrities, but women are. I was watching this thing today about Usher, and that girl was talking about Usher in Chile. But at the end of the program that was showing about Usher and the lady that he slept with, this big old lady that I wouldn't even touch. And Usher slept with this lady, y'all. So it lets you know that black men, oh yeah, we'll do something, as a whole. We don't care if you work at McDonald's. We don't care if you a movie star. Oh, if you look good to us or something we want, we will do something if we allow our lust take over us, right? But however, the women, you got a man to probably look better than King David, the Bathsheba will never touch. But by him being king popular, that's probably why she slept with him, or maybe she was too scared to resist. I don't know. But apparently, this is exactly what happened. What a way to start out a relationship on sin and somebody. We know the story. If you keep reading how he took, and he asked Uriah to go lay with his wife. Uriah slept up there with the soldiers, and he had Uriah put on the front line to be killed. So he tried to cover up his sin. And they do that today, even today in the White House. They do stuff to cover up the sin. Look what happened to Marilyn Monroe and the Kennedys. Look what happened with that. She was messing around one brother and messing around the other. She ended up dead. I don't know who killed her, but they said she took she overdosed. I don't know. But however, that men still do that today to cover up their sin. They would kill a woman just to cover up the sin, or fame and fortune. Look what's going on in the Epstein files, right? Look at how much cover up that's going on today. So, which they're not Israel, but I think some Israelites was tangled up there. Look what P. Diddy. They ain't covered nothing up with him. They tell everything he did. So it's just something to think about this, how this relationship went down, how many of us are willing to pull away and not allow that to happen. I got a video I want to play right now. That this video is not that long. I'm not going to play the whole video. We're just going to get to the point so you can visualize the scene what happened with King David and Bathsheba. Let me see if this pull up. All right, yep, got it pulled up. Fair use, fair use.
One evening, a king looked out from his palace rooftop. What he saw would change the course of Israel's history forever. It began with desire and ended in death. A loyal soldier betrayed, a prophet's warning ignored. A royal scandal covered in silence, and a woman right at the center of it all. He must never find out. You are the man. The child will die. Solomon shall reign. This is not just the story of King David's greatest failure. It's the story of Bathsheba, a woman caught in the crossfire of lust, judgment, and redemption. She entered the palace as a victim, but walked the halls as the queen mother. From shame to power, from scandal to legacy. The question is, was she simply a pawn in a king's sin? Or was she a silent strategist who helped shape the future of Israel?
Are you a Christian author looking for the best publishing partner, but you really don't know where to begin? I'm Dr. Samuel Kojugulanian.
You're about to witness one of the most shocking stories in the Bible, as you've never heard it before. It begins with stillness. In the heart of Jerusalem, the sun begins its descent. A warm amber light spills over stone walls, terraced rooftops, and narrow winding paths. Merchants close their stalls. Priests ascend to evening prayer. The city exhales. Above it all, the king's palace rises, a fortress of carved limestone, overlooking every home, every life. And on its roof, a king walks alone. King David, warrior, poet, anointed ruler of Israel. But this evening, not at war, not writing psalms, just wandering. And then he sees her. Her name is Bathsheba, the daughter of Eliam, one of David's elite warriors, the granddaughter of Ahithophel, the king's own counselor, the wife of Uriah the Hittite, another loyal soldier away at war. And now she bathes, not for beauty, not for seduction, but because the Torah commands it. According to Jewish law, after her monthly cycle, a woman must undergo ritual purification, a mikveh, before rejoining her husband. It is a sacred act, private, obedient. But from his vantage point, David sees not law, but lust. He should have looked away, should have turned back. Instead, he sends messengers, a summons from the king himself. What could she do? Say no to a king? Her husband is away, her family loyal to the crown. Refusing a royal command could mean exile, or worse. That night, David crossed a line, not just of law, but of covenant. We do not know what was said between them. Scripture is silent, but soon, Bathsheba sends word back to the palace. 2 words that shake him to the core. I am pregnant. Was it fate? Was it temptation? Was it sin? But more haunting than David's lust is the silence that followed. She never spoke in protest. She never cried out. But that doesn't mean she consented. In a world where kings held absolute power, did she ever have a choice? Did she have a choice? She sends word to the king, just 3 words. I am pregnant. 3 words, but they echo like thunder in David's soul. This wasn't supposed to happen. A single night, a secret sin, forgotten. But now, a seed is growing, and with it, consequences. He sends for Uriah, the husband, the warrior. Bring him home from the front lines, David says. Let him lie with his wife. Let the timeline be blurred. Uriah, the Hittite, a foreigner by blood, but more loyal to Israel than the king himself. David welcomes him, feeds him, wines him, then urges him, go home, be with your wife. But Uriah doesn't go. While his brothers fight and bleed on the battlefield, he will not enjoy the comforts of home. He refuses. In wartime, warriors kept themselves consecrated, abstinent, focused, holy. David's plan has failed, and so he moves to something darker. A royal letter, carried unknowingly by the man it condemns. Put Uriah at the front, where the fighting is fiercest, then pull back, let him fall. And just like that, a loyal soldier dies. A breath of relief, no scandal, no witnesses, no questions. And what of her, the widow? The tears she sheds are real. She has lost a husband, an anchor, her honor. After her mourning period ends, she is summoned again. David takes her as his wife. She moves into the palace, pregnant but protected. The king covers his sin with a crown, but heaven is not silent. God saw what was done. Enter Nathan, the prophet, the voice of God. He does not accuse, not yet. He tells a story. There were two men, Nathan says, one rich, one poor. The rich man had flocks and herds. The poor man had only one little lamb, a lamb he raised like a daughter. But when a guest came to the rich man, he did not take from his own flocks. Instead, he stole the poor man's lamb.
How artisans use the right mix of traditional techniques and new technology to ensure that your ring is beautiful, strong, and durable. The process of creating your ring begins at 7:30 in the morning, when liquid metal is poured into a wax casting specifically made for the unique diamond you've selected. Only the finest precious metals, gold and platinum, are used to create the ring's band. Then your diamond is added by hand to ensure it's beautifully showcased. Your ring
Hello, Josiah. Can you hear me? I think it stopped sharing, so hold on, y'all. Let me go back to this. It's almost at the end with the part I want to get to.
Down. David furious. That man deserves to die. He must repay fourfold. You are that man. Flocks and herds. The poor man had only one little lamb, a lamb he raised like a daughter. But when a guest came to the rich man, he did not take from his own flocks. Instead, he stole the poor man's lamb, killed it, served it. David's anger burns. He slams his fist down. David furious. That man deserves to die. He must repay fourfold. You are that man. Nathan doesn't stop. He speaks the judgment of God. You struck down Uriah with the sword. You took his wife as your own. Now the sword shall never depart from your house. Your child shall die. The child is born, but stricken.
All right. All right. Can y'all hear me? You on here? You're right. You're right. Josiah, you got to mute yourself. You on here, Josiah. Unmute yourself. I guess he ain't on here. All right. So look, the story y'all heard about King David, right? Now, King David wanted. Thank y'all for letting me know you can hear me. King David wanted Bathsheba that bad, right? Thank you, Amaria. King David wanted Bathsheba that bad that he sent messengers out and she came and he laid with her that night. Now, my thing is this, right? King David was a rich man. Y'all see when it says that? And how the parable when Nathan was talking about telling him the parable how the rich man took the poor man's sheep, right? And he said that rich man is you, because King David talking about that man should be put to death, right? Is that according to the law? Yeah. So according to the law, should he been put to death for taking that man's wife? Should he been stoned to death? This is what we used to do in Israel, right? According to the law. You get judged over something like that. And so, of course, we're not in Israel. We're living in America. People do that all the time. Take people wives and sleep with them and stuff like that. So like you seen Pan Grill for the first time, but you resist. Yeah. So the thing is that a lot of men, even though we see movie stars, we don't act like women do. Women act like a movie star is placed different if you got somebody. That's not true. But Bathsheba, apparently she had the same type of mindset. Because she slept with David the first night, But one thing I would say about King David, he didn't leave Bathsheba out to dry. He married her and he was with her. And they had King Solomon, they had more kids. But because of what they did, they had to go through a lot of turmoil. They had to pay for the sins, what they did over, he killed Uriah. All that they went through. So this relationship is something that Israel should run away from, right? Because after that, even King Solomon, he had 700 wives and 300 concubines, but he stepped outside of Israel and started to marry these women that were leading him away from the Most High. And you see what happened to King Solomon. Hello? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all still hear me? I'm just trying to make sure this computer be messing up. All right, we're gonna go into Ruth and Boaz, right? Now, Ruth and Boaz, thank you. Ruth and Boaz is a different type of relationship, right? So, women, I don't want to put Bathsheba down that bad. She was facing with the king of Israel. But however, if you're married, you love your husband, women, please do not allow somebody with rich money or famous allow you to just say, oh, forget it, throw everything away. You shouldn't even be nowhere around them. All right. So, but anyway, but later on, Bathsheba, if you read the story, Bathsheba was quiet. She didn't speak much. She was really upset on what happened. So I'm pretty sure she asked the Most High for forgiveness, and it really bothered them, and they paid for the sins what they did, right? So love for Bathsheba. I'm not trying to put her down like she a whore or something, but the thing is, she did sin against her husband, and King David was wrong for what he did. So these are the relationships that we don't want to be in. Look, I'm up here trying to teach about relationship. I'm still learning myself, so don't get me wrong. But this right here, when I read, I read both stories, mentality, and I was like, wow, this is something I think about today's and what we be in and how we react on certain things, and how we, you know, sometimes I ain't gonna say all the times, but sometimes, and I'm not gonna say me now. The only reason I'm just not like that, but some people can put celebrities and movie stars above their own husband, or above their own wife. I can't do that. It's almost like I watch cartoon. Look, when I watch TV, it's almost like watching cartoons. Cartoon is not real. That's the way I look at it. I can't look at somebody and just get crazy over them because they're on television or they got rich and money. I just can't do that. It's just not me. Maybe I'm just not me. But anyway, these are the relationships we don't want to be in, or a situation we don't want to be in, right? The fallout of the future self to as you're right. You're right. No hall pass for celebrities or not. Ain't no hall pass for them. Hold on. Same here. I couldn't care less about celebrity. Thank you, sister.
Yo.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah, we've
My
been
fault,
waiting.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
my
was
fault.
trying to talk. I was like, this young right here ain't on here.
I'm here.
Yeah. You see the
What's
video?
going on, family? A little bit.
A little bit. All right. Well, you know the story.
A little bit. Yeah.
You see what this sister saying right here? Just saying.
I can care less about celebrities.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, man. You don't know if you're a man or woman anyway.
And if you have somebody, don't be like Bathsheba. Can you imagine? Like I said, can you imagine we living in Israel? And what's the dark skinned guy the women go crazy over? They'll sleep with him. What's his name? Ezra, what's his name?
Yeah, they got you got some wives right now. When they sleep with their husband, they thinking about him.
Yeah, and that's sad.
For real, y'all act like this ain't true. That happens. It happens.
Yeah. So,
come on, man.
Sister, by you saying that, Ezra, there you go. Yep. Ezra's
yeah, him.
Yeah, him. So, sister, by you saying that, that right there is great. And whoever your husband is, he got him a good woman. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so because that's what Bathsheba followed in. Can you imagine King David calling up? You see what I'm saying? He was the most famous man in Israel. We went over that before. So these are the relationships that we and what David did was wrong too. So we as men, yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I was on the phone. Go ahead. My fault.
These are the relationships that we should be into. But however, we get ready to talk about Ruth and Bathsheba. I mean, Ruth and Boaz. I said Bathsheba. So Ruth and Boaz, y'all, a totally different relationship. But this is one of the relationships that when you look at the story, it's beautiful, right? It's almost like a fairy tale, but it's a true story. It's not a fairy tale. And so these are the two things that, man, you get in this word. Now, I know when sisters say what that sister said, Adaria Yahoo, she had to be deeply in this word. It's almost like when the Messiah told Peter, oh, the Holy Ghost had to tell you that you are the Son of God, So you have to be rooted deeply in this word. Good job, because this is the thing that a lot of our sisters and brothers have to be rooted and deeply in the word to have that mindset. If you ain't got that mindset, you're going to be just like the rest of the world, going crazy, woo, and all that. Nah. Let me see. The book of Ruth, right? Actually, I want to get right into it. But let me see. You got something you want to say about the book of Ruth, Josiah, and the story?
About Ruth.
Yeah.
She laid at Boaz's feet, so that means she was an actual Moabite. That's what I'm gonna say. But no, on a real tip, when you look at the book of Ruth and you look at the daughters of Zion, I mean that matches because only a daughter of Zion can be called a virtuous woman, and virtuous is according to the law, not according to the heathen's law. So how can a Moabite, a bloodline Moabite, be called a virtuous woman? And virtuous is according to what? The law of Moses, right? So what law they was given? I thought he showed his word to Jacob. Statutes his judgment to Israel. He haven't dealt so with any other nation. So they don't know his judgment. So how can a woman that's outside of Israel be virtuous?
That's right. So how about when we look at the story of Ruth, right? Let's read a couple of verses here. You want to go there and read it for?
Yeah, I can do it.
Ruth, we want to get to the point where her and I guess Ruth start at verse 1. We ain't gonna read it out. We just want to get to the point.
I'll be there about 15 minutes.
Huh?
Huh? No, I'm talking. You said Ruth 1?
Yeah,
or 2?
Ruth chapter 1. What? Ruth chapter 2.
Which one you want?
Start at verse 1, chapter 2.
All right.
And we're gonna play the video on this.
All right, this is the book of Ruth, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, and Naomi had a kinsman of her husband, a mighty man of wealth, of the family of Amalek, and his name was Boaz. And Ruth the Moabitess said unto Naomi, let me go to the field and glance ear of the corn after him whose sight I might find grace. And she said unto her, go, my daughter. And when she went and came, she glanced in the field after the reapers, and harp was to the light on her part of the field belonging to Boaz, and was of the kindred of Amalek. And behold, Boaz came from Bethlehem and said unto the reapers, the Lord be with you. And they answered him, the Lord bless thee. Then said Boaz unto his servants that were set over the reapers, whose damsel is this? And the servants that were set over the reaper answered and said, it is the Moabitess damsel that came back with Naomi out of the country of Moab. And she said, I pray you, let me glance and gather after the reapers among the sheaves. And she came, and she continued even from the morning until now, and she tarried a little in the house. Then Boaz said unto Ruth, hearest thou not, my daughter? Go not to glance in another field, neither to go from hence. Bide here fast by my maids. Thy eyes be lifted. He said, let thy eyes be on the field that do reap, and go not after them. Have I charged the young men that they shall not touch thee? I says, and go not after them. Have I not charged the young men that shall not touch thee? And then it says, and when thou art athirst, go into the vessels and drink of which the young men have drawn. Then she fell on her face and bowed herself to the ground, and she said unto him, why hast thou found grace in thy eyes? And thou shalt take knowledge of me, seeing I'm a stranger. You want to say something about that?
Yeah. Now she said, I'm a stranger, right? So the thing about when you go back up, what did Naomi coach Ruth, right? What to do?
Yeah, she said,
custom. What you say?
Let's see what she said. She told, verse 2 said, and Ruth the Moabite said unto Naomi, let me go to the field and glance ear of the corn after him whose sight I might find grace. So she basically putting her on. She, you know what I'm saying? Tell her to go to the field and glance grapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where you stopped at? What verse? 20?
Verse when it says she estranged, when She recognized
Yeah, Ruth.
she was treating her well because she was a stranger. Yeah.
Yeah. You see how Ruth
Verse
was
10.
approached. Yeah, verse 10. So Ruth was showing him appreciation because she was a stranger
Mm.
in the land, right? She did. Oh yeah, this was a time of Judges, and Judges was called God. Keep that in mind, right? Actually, when we looked it up, remember this, Josiah, the book of Ruth and Judges was one book. They split them up. Wow,
Yeah.
they split them up as one book, really. Judges in the
Mm-hmm.
book. So, so when she says that, look, the Boaz answered and said unto her, it hath fully been showed me all that thou hast done unto thy mother-in-law since the death, of thy husband,
Mm.
how thou hast left thy father and thy mother and the land of thy nativity, art come unto a people which thou knowest not here too far. Right? This is one
Mm.
time of judges because everybody had their own land, which we all of us had our own, each tribe had their own land, right?
And
And
each tribe had judges and officers in their gates.
yeah, exactly.
That was the law. Remember, he said in Deuteronomy, "Thou shalt establish judges and officers in thy gates." So the tribe of Judah had judges, the tribe of Reuben had judges. Every tribe had judges. Those were the
So
rulers at that time. Before we even had a king, we had judges. I think Acts go into that too, don't it? That's how
yeah,
we cut. I think that's how we cut the camp guys when they tried to say that was Rahab the harlot right there in Matthew in the
cut them,
genealogy.
cut the pieces. And when you look at Ruth and Boaz, right? This is another thing. Ruth and Boaz, Boaz could not be Ahab, the harlot, direct son. You know how the camp guys trying to use that, right?
Right, right,
Way
right,
too far. They don't add up. It's like 400 years apart, right?
right.
So anyway, verse 12. The Lord recompense the work and a full reward be given thee of the Lord God of Israel, under whose wing thou art come to trust. Then she said, let me find favor in the sight of my Lord, for thou hast comforted me,
Mm.
and for thou hast spoken freely unto thy handmaid, though I be not like unto one in thy handmaid. And Boaz said unto her at mealtime, come thou hither, eat of the bread and dip the morsel and in the vinegar. And she sat beside the reapers, and he reached her parched corn, and she did eat and was sufficient and left. So
Mm.
she ate with them, right? Boaz coming on, look, he coming on lightly. You remember Boaz an older guy, right? So I don't think
Then we
Boaz,
get to that part where that when
I
he
don't
trying
think
to no, that's not there. It's coming up. Yeah, it's coming up.
I don't think Boaz think Ruth was trying to holler at him. What you think? And he's an older guy, right? Verse 15, when she was risen up to glance, Boaz commanded his young man, saying, let her glance even among the chevies, reproach her not. So, and
Mm-hmm.
let fall also some of the handsful of the purpose for her, and leave them, and that she may glance them and rebuke her not. So he's telling her, that grain, leave it there.
Yeah,
She can get more. I don't know how they put it in that, where they put it in. So she glanced in the field
grain of
unto,
grapes or whatever. Yeah,
yeah,
yep. It could be grapes or could if she in the field, so she's
yeah, she
gathering. That's what Glenn's mean. Glad
in
she's
the field.
gathering. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
She in the
it
field.
was about an effort of Barclay. And she took up and went into the city. Her mother-in-law saw what she had glanced And she brought forth and gave to her that she had reserved after she was sufficient. Wherever that word is, how you pronounce it. It's talking about after she was full, basically. When she
Yeah, it's enough. Basically got enough. Yeah.
and her
Suffice.
mother-in-law said unto her, Where hast thou glanced today? And where workest thou? Blessed be he that did take knowledge of thee. And she showed her mother-in-law with whom she had worked, and said, This man named with whom I work today is Boaz. Naomi said unto her daughter-in-law, Blessed be of the Lord, who has not left off the kindness of the living to the dead. And Naomi said to her, The man is near kin unto us, one of our what? Next kinsmen.
Kinsman.
Some people take that lightly because remember the law says when your husband died, you are free. Right? And so Ruth's husband was dead. But some people are trying to say the reason she's saying this is because she was married to her son. What do you think, Josiah? About the near kids?
You right. Yeah, that's right on. But look, the law is about when an Israelite man die and doesn't have a son, then the law of redeem when you take a to raise up seed for that man.
Mm-hmm.
What law is that? The law of the brother when you I think it's the kinsman. Is it the kinsman redeem? Oh no, it's not that. Hell no, it's not that.
I know Numbers 36 is similar to that too. Yeah.
But it's about raising up the seed. So that man, what's his name? Was it Chilion? One of Million, one of them. So his name won't get put out. So his name won't get put out of Israel. Raise up seed for him for the dead. That's in the law. I think it's Deuteronomy something.
So whenever
I think the next chapter go ahead and explain that.
A kinsman.
Or you into it right now? Yeah, I think it's that.
So where I stopped at verse 21.
I'm gonna put 2 up there. You can have 2 up there in a minute, bro.
Do what?
Let this one in. I'm finna have 2 of me up there in a minute.
I'm going to play this video. Oh, you got 2 up there.
Yeah, let me in because I'm finna get out of this one.
Okay. All right, I'm going to play this video right quick. Stop right here. This is a real good story, not long, but I love the story. Now, within the story, they're going to be calling her a Moabite, but we know she's an Israelite. Keep that in mind, y'all. we don't debate about Ruth so much, we forgot about the story of Ruth. It's good, you know. So let me fair use this video. Fair use. Y'all hear it?
His wife was named Naomi, and their 2 sons were Mahlon and Chilion. But when their crops failed in Israel, they moved.
Hey, man, I don't know what's wrong with this.
To the country of Moab. And while they were there, Elimelech died, leaving Naomi with only her 2 sons. Later, Naomi's sons married Moabite women. One was named Orpah and the other Ruth. About 10 years later, Mahlon and Chilion also died. Now Naomi had no husband or sons. When Naomi heard that the Lord had given his people a good harvest, she and her 2 daughters-in-law got ready to leave Moab and go to Judah. As they were on their way there, Naomi said to them, "Don't you want to go back home to your own mothers? You were kind to my husband and sons, and you've always been kind to me. I pray that the Lord will be just as kind to you. May he give each of you another husband and a home of your own." Naomi kissed them. They cried and said, "We want to go with you and live among your people." But she replied, "My daughters, why don't you return home? What good will it do you to go with me? Do you think I could have more sons for you to marry? You must go back home because I'm too old to marry again. Even if I got married tonight and later had more sons, would you wait for them to become old enough to marry? No, my daughters. Life is harder for me than it is for you, because the Lord has turned against me. They cried again. Orpah kissed her mother-in-law goodbye, but Ruth held on to her. Naomi then said to Ruth, "Look, your sister-in-law is going back to her people and to her gods. Why don't you go with her?" Ruth answered, "Please don't tell me to leave you and return home. I will go where you go. I will live here you live. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. I will die where you die and be buried beside you. May the Lord punish me if we are ever separated, even by death." When Naomi saw that Ruth had made up her mind to go with her, she stopped urging her to go back. They reached Bethlehem, and the whole town was excited to see them. The women who lived there asked, "Can this really be Naomi?" Then she told them, "Don't call me Naomi any longer. Call me Mara, because God has made my life bitter. I had everything when I left, but the Lord has brought me back with nothing. How can you still call me Naomi when God has turned against me and made my life so hard?" The barley harvest was just beginning when Naomi and Ruth, her Moabite daughter-in-law, arrived in Bethlehem. One day, Ruth said to Naomi, "Let me see if I can find someone who will let me pick up the grain left in the fields by the harvest workers." Naomi answered, "Go ahead, my daughter." So immediately Ruth went out to pick up grain in a field. She didn't know it was owned by Boaz, a relative of Naomi's husband Elimelech, as well as a rich and important man. When Boaz arrived from Bethlehem and went out to his field, he said to the harvest workers, "The Lord bless you." They replied, "And may the Lord bless you." Then Boaz asked the man in charge of the harvest workers, "Who is that young woman?" The man answered, "She's the one who came back from Moab with Naomi. She asked if she could pick up grain left by the harvest workers, and she has been working all morning without a moment's rest." Boaz went over to Ruth and said, "I think it would be best for you not to pick up grain in anyone else's field. Stay here with the women and follow along behind them as they gather up what the men have cut. I have warned the men not to bother you, and whenever you are thirsty, you can drink from their water jars." Ruth bowed down to the ground and said, "You know I come from another country. Why are you so good to me?" Boaz answered, "I've heard how you've helped your mother-in-law ever since your husband died. You even left your own father and mother to come and live in a foreign land among people you don't know. I pray that the Lord God of Israel will reward you for what you have done. And now that you have come to him for protection, I pray that he will bless you." Ruth replied, "Sir, it's good of you to speak kindly to me and make me feel so welcome. I'm not even one of your servants." At mealtime, Boaz said to Ruth, "Come, eat with us. Have some bread and dip it in the sauce." At once she sat down with the workers, and Boaz handed her some roasted grain. Ruth ate all she wanted and had some left over. When Ruth left to start picking up grain, Boaz told his men, "Don't stop her. Even if she picks up grain from where it is stacked, be sure to pull out some stalks of grain from the bundles and leave them on the ground for her, and don't speak harshly to her." Ruth worked in the field until evening. Then
Boaz rough, y'all. What you think? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Boaz rough, ain't it?
Yeah,
This is good
that's a
stuff.
brother, ain't it?
Yeah.
And after she had pounded the grain off the stalks, she had a large basket full of grain. She took the grain to town and showed Naomi how much she had picked up. Ruth also gave her the food left over from her lunch. Naomi said, "Where did you work today? Whose field was it? God bless the man who treated you so well." Then Ruth told her that she had worked in the field of a man named Boaz. "The Lord bless Boaz," Naomi replied. "He has shown that he is still loyal to the living and to the dead. Boaz is a close relative, one of those who is supposed to look after us." Ruth told her, "Boaz even said I could stay in the field with his workers until they had finished harvesting all his grain." Naomi replied, "My daughter, it's good that you can pick up grain alongside the women who work in his field. Who knows what might happen to you in someone else's field?" And so, Ruth stayed close to the women while picking up grain in his field. Ruth worked in the fields until the barley and wheat were harvested. and all this time she lived with Naomi. One day, Naomi said to Ruth, "It's time I found you a husband who will give you a home and take care of you. You have been picking up grain alongside the women who work for Boaz, and you know he is a relative of ours. Tonight he will be threshing the grain. Now take a bath and put on some perfume. Then dress in your best clothes. Go where he is working, but don't let him see you until he is drinking. Watch where he goes to spend the night."
Yeah.
Hey, you know that scripture in Titus that the older woman shall teach the younger women how to love their husbands, how to bear children? And this is right there in the full effect right here.
Yep. That's exactly what's supposed to be happening, but it's not.
She's an older woman teaching a younger woman what to do.
Mhm. Exactly. Fair use.
Then when he is asleep, lift the cover and lie down at his feet. He will tell you what to do. Ruth answered, "I'll do whatever you say." She went out to the place where Boaz was working and did what Naomi had told her. After Boaz finished eating and drinking and was feeling happy, he went over and fell asleep near the pile of grain. Ruth slipped over quietly. She lifted the cover and lay down near his feet. In the middle of the night, Boaz suddenly woke up and was shocked to see a woman lying at his feet. "Who are you?" he asked. "Sir, I am Ruth," she answered, "and you are the relative who is supposed to take care of me. So spread the edge of your cover over me." Boaz replied, "The Lord bless you. This shows how truly loyal you are to your family. You could have looked for a younger man, either rich or poor, but you didn't. Don't worry, I'll do what you have asked. You are respected by everyone in town. It's true that I'm one of the relatives who is supposed to take care of you, but there is someone who is an even closer relative. Stay here until morning, then I will find out if he is willing to look after you. If he isn't, I promise by the living God to do it myself."
Now, y'all see how how Boaz responded to that? He wasn't so thirsty, right? Yeah, you go on these sisters today, go lay at the feet of these brothers. They wake up, they're not gonna respond like that. What do you think, Josiah?
I was just going to talk about the feet part. What woman doing that today?
Oh no, she presented herself good. You're exactly right.
That sounds like the woman that washed the Messiah feet.
Yeah, amen. And you know what? Look what she said. She said, "You supposed to take care of me." She already in the mode of submission right there. Wow. Mm. Good teaching.
Now go back to sleep until morning. Ruth lay down again, but she got up before daylight, because Boaz did not want anyone to know she had been there. Then he told her to spread out her cape, and he filled it with grain and placed it on her shoulder. When Ruth got back to town, Naomi asked her what had happened, and Ruth told her everything. She also said, "Boaz gave me this grain because he didn't want me to come back without something for you." Naomi replied, "Just be patient, and don't worry about what will happen. He won't rest until everything is settled today." In the meanwhile, Boaz had gone to the meeting place at the town gate and was sitting there when the other close relative came by. So Boaz invited him to come over and sit down, and he did. Then Boaz got 10 of the town leaders and also asked them to sit down. After they had sat down, he said to the man, "Naomi has come back from Moab and is selling the land that belonged to her husband Elimelech. I'm telling you about this, since you are his closest relative and have the right to buy the property. If you want it, you can buy it now. These 10 men and the others standing here can be witnesses. But if you don't want the property, let me know, because I am next in line." The man replied, "I'll buy it." "If you do buy it from Naomi," Boaz told him, "you must also marry Ruth. Then if you have a son by her, the property will stay in the family of Ruth's first husband." The man answered, "If that's the case, I don't want to buy it. That would make problems with the property I already own. You may buy it yourself because I cannot." To make a sale legal in those days, one person would take off a sandal and give it to the other. So after the man had agreed to let Boaz buy the property, he took off one of his sandals and handed it to Boaz.
Now you see, Boaz had witness, right? Now today we don't want witness. We don't care what people say. of course, I can understand today's society because we're living in America. But in Israel, it's very important that we have witness of everything we do when we're making a big purchase or establishment or even marriage. You see this?
That's law, bro. Anything you do has to be. They said everything supposed to be established by 2 or 3 witnesses. That's everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. But now people want to say, I don't care what people think. I can understand because the area we live in, that might we live in, because a lot of our people is against us in anything we do. So I get that. But however, the proper way is for us to have witness within our people to stand there. You get people that you can trust that witness these things, 2 or 3 witnesses. And I like whatever, he gave them a shoe, a sandal. Man, somebody, I take off my sandal on my feet. I bet they won't want that. But anyway.
I'm pretty
Boaz
sure.
told the town leaders and everyone else, all of you are witnesses that today I have bought from Naomi the property that belonged to Elimelech and his 2 sons, Chilion and Mahlon. You are also witnesses that I have agreed to marry Mahlon's widow Ruth, the Moabite woman. This will keep the property in his family's name, and he will be remembered in this town. The town leaders and the others standing there said, we are witnesses to this, and we pray that the Lord will give your wife many children, just as he did Leah and Rachel, the wives of Jacob. May you be a rich man in the tribe of Ephraim and an important man in Bethlehem.
Yeah.
Did they just mention Rachel and Leah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So she gonna give it just like Rachel and Leah that build up that's the root of Israel. So Ruth is like the root. Come on, man.
Yeah. It lets you know she had to be from Judah. Yeah.
Yep.
Or Israelite. Yeah. Fair use.
May the children you have by this young woman make your family as famous as the family of Perez, the son of Tamar and Judah. Boaz married Ruth, and the Lord blessed her with a son. After his birth, the women said to Naomi, praise the Lord. Today he has given you a grandson to take care of you. We pray that the boy will grow up to be famous everywhere in Israel. He will make you happy and take care of you in your old age, because he is the son of your daughter-in-law. And she loves you more than 7 sons of your own would love you. Naomi loved the boy and took good care of him. The neighborhood women named him Obed, but they called him Naomi's boy. When Obed grew up, he had a son named Jesse, who later became the father of King David.
Y'all just see, we did the story of King David. We went backwards and see the story of Ruth and Boaz and Obed, which is their son, grow up to be the great King David's great granddaddy. Y'all see that? Now, what happened to King David, y'all? No, just kidding. But can y'all see that? How they all connect? They come from the tribe of Judah, which is probably us. Wow. This is something. You got something you want to say before I finish this?
No, let it play.
Financial report and all that. All right. I love that story. Pretty good story. Now, this is the thing. This is the thing is that y'all see how that relationship went? Can you imagine having a relationship like that? Remember, Ruth worked in the field of Boaz for a long time, for a while, right? Until Naomi said, hey, once you check out Boaz, you're in the field. He's a good guy. He's a kinsman. Go lay at his feet, and he'll tell you what to do. And that's what she did. She presented herself to him. He was blown away. He said, all these young guys, and you want me? And he took her for his wife. After he made everything right, took to the near kinsman first. And, then he ended up buying the land and marrying Boaz and taking care of. And they had a son named Obed. And Boaz, which what you call was a virtuous woman, right? She was crazy about who she seen all the other guys was out there working in the fields, right? She wasn't thirsty. I'm pretty sure she probably seen somebody that was younger, just like Boaz said, looked better than him. But she wasn't thirsty. Wow.
Hey, I don't think it's about that. I don't think women looked at it how women look at it. That it was all about,
Oh, not
law.
back then. Yeah, not back then.
Yeah, it's all about the law, actually doing what was according to the Torah. Like women argue over, they were jealous over each other back in the day over having if a woman had a child or not. You know what I'm saying?
You know, even in my mother and father's day, they used to compete about having kids.
Yeah, it's not the same. Women look at it differently. Like they jealous of each other over different things now.
Yeah. So this was this. I like this story, and it's a real good story because we get to come out of this captivity, right? And we go out to learn everything over. So we getting the jump start, y'all. We getting the jump start. We get the jump start, And we know Boaz and these women wouldn't worry about no other. And you notice everybody was the same too. In other words, melanated, right?
That's why we keep getting clipped. Even if Ruth, well, let's say if she was a Moabite, she's still black.
Still black.
And Shemite. So what
They don't even hear. He gonna say she
don't even help her. Yeah.
Said Chinese woman with Down syndrome.
The camps push that too, that they're the Chinese people.
Yeah, crazy. Shalom, sons of Elohim. Yeah, that is a beautiful story, Boaz. And
that's a lot of story. That's what y'all women should be study up on, like Ruth and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's our encouragement right there.
Right.
Get stories like Ruth, even what Rahab the harlot did.
Yep. Look at it, said Mario said, I still got a chance. That's right. He said, you still got a chance. That's right. That's right. You still got a chance to find your root.
Yep.
Find you. And the way Boaz was kind with her, which that what you call today they would call that what would they call that? Man, what they call that today? Society, the way Boaz acted towards her, he wasn't over aggressive, but she knew that Boaz liked her. Put it that way. I can't think exactly what they call that. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. Naomi taught her wisdom. That's right. She wasn't too thirsty. Brother T said he's a simp. But yeah, the Boaz, he came off smooth, I seen run that back put something in there about a son eating pork. Great. Boaz is a reverse cougar. That's a good one right there. Kadar decided a song about eating beer. You don't want to eat no pork over there, no Mexican. That's right, Adaria Yahoo. That was, whenever a woman, can you imagine in today's society that a woman is presenting herself to you but not being so thirsty? And that's what we see in the story of Ruth and Boaz, right? I can imagine how many women threw themselves at Boaz, but they didn't do it the right way.
She laid at his feet.
She laid at his feet.
Y'all understand that? She laid at the man's feet. I know Cliff watching this.
And and that right there was not no Moabite customer, Cliff.
No, what?
Hello, 78 vet.
It shouldn't be hard for a woman to lay at a man's feet. Men been doing it. We propose like that, don't we? Get down on one knee.
Yeah.
Y'all shouldn't have no problem doing that, right? Right, 78 vet?
And they was eating healthy food. Yeah, they was.
I want y'all to notice something too. Notice that they were, yeah.
Yeah, we was in our own land too.
I was trying to tell you that today. You like, how can we really enjoy our food when it's poison?
Okay.
We get our food from our enemies.
Boaz is righteous. You're exactly right. You're right. There can't be no Chinese eating everything. Yeah. You're right. This story, right? I would love for a lot of women to study this to the fullness, and you know, I like the way Boaz carries himself as an older man. I would be considered an older man. I'm 53, so I like the way he carries himself. He wasn't too thirsty. I like, you know, some men get too thirsty. A woman go lay at your feet, and you wake up looking at you, and the way they had Ruth looking, oh no.
I don't think men was thirsty back in the day like that because.
No, I'm talking about now. Yeah, you.
Oh yeah, man.
I'm talking about now. I ain't talking about back then. It wasn't like that because
Yeah,
custom. Everything was based on the law, y'all.
the law. Yeah, it was based on the law. So women stayed in their place, and if they got out of place, see, it was death. You got your hand spinning. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, predicate, could y'all sister help me out? I ain't want somebody to lay his feet on. You see that? Just like, yeah.
Yeah. Who said that? Put it back up.
Maria. He said, near predicate, Maria Yashua. Ah. All right, that's a good one. Wait on the Most High, and our food will be healthy and delicious. It's true. Yeah, today, man, even though we can try, I try to eat the best I can, but every time I eat, I'm still thinking like what they did to this food, you know. Same thing was happening during at Paul's time. Paul in the marketplace, man, same thing. So, let me ask y'all something. Looking at the two relationships, right? King David and Bathsheba, which is Judah, Boaz and Ruth. Which relationship would y'all rather be in today's society going into our kingdom? As which one would y'all rather be in? Which one would y'all rather meet like? Would you like to meet like King David and Bathsheba? Or would you like to meet like Boaz and Ruth?
I think we already can answer for David and Bathsheba.
Yeah, I want to see what they say.
He can say what he want to say.
I guess it means that's why we are. You're right. They told we can pray for and everything's good. Great.
Before we talk the food.
Mm-hmm. All right. Easy said Boaz and Ruth. Gotcha. Boaz and Ruth. What y'all want to meet like? King David and Bathsheba or Boaz and Ruth? You know what, Desire? You know what? When I think about King David, right? I'm be honest. He was a good king, but other than that, look at the lineage through Solomon and what's his name? Even worse. Solomon and
Absalom, all them.
yeah, you see that?
But you see what the Most High prophesied though, right? You heard what he said to him. He said the sword ain't gonna leave your house.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the consequence of him and Bathsheba.
All right, let me see what people say.
Ain't no subscription for that too.
Boaz and Ruth. Boaz and Ruth. Both. Because all y'all said both. Okay. And they all goes there. Esther. Esther ain't on the list. Okay. Boaz and Ruth. Esther. I guess. Okay. Women, they want to go with the women. Okay. But
That's a good story too.
Yeah, it is a good story. Hey, you know what? But when you look at the women, I think the best story is Judith. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Man, that's the best story for y'all women.
So usually what you got.
I would like for a woman to come over here and study that story and read it and bring it out. Please, Lord. I love that story.
See what? Look, the power of influence. Women got the power of influence because they got the power of attraction.
Yeah.
A woman can get close and personal up to our enemies and cut his head off quicker than a man can, because women can use charm. They can use their bodies, to smell good. So we need our women. Shit.
Do any one of y'all women want to come on and read the story of Ruth and bring it out? We'll help you out. But I would love to have a woman do that. Man, I love that story. I did a teaching on that by myself. It's on here somewhere. Oh, y'all don't know if anybody remember that. I mean, the story of Judah. I said Ruth.
Well, it was in the basement.
Yeah, do you remember that? Sister Pam loved that. That was good, man. Hey, man, when I say you could tell they was black. She chopped that Sylvia King's head off when it went back to the camp, said it stayed up all night talking. That was getting right. Mr. Turner, I don't want to hear it. Whatever you got to do. I wonder where Run That Back come out. I need to stop buying ham from Hammer. Yeah, Judith was the truth. Yeah, so look, y'all. Anyone y'all want to come on and do that story? I did it once, but to hear it from a woman is almost like when the white people say you can't sing the Negro spiritual because you never been through that. You know what I'm saying? Ham from a ham mic. That's just crazy. I need to stop buying ham. I was in your earlier. I was in Casey, South Carolina, near Columbia. Run That Back. I swear up and down, I seen you coming out of a Mexican store. Might not be you. Look like you. I'm just joking. But yeah, that would have been a good idea that a woman would come on here and do that story. If not, I'm gonna ask Sister Pam because I know she'll do it. But I'm asking y'all, anybody in the chat, y'all want to come on and do that story? It's a real good story. Read about it and talk about it because it shows you the other side of Israel. When Israel's down and out, remember the woman's supposed to be the helpmate to Israel, the man. That right there is a complete story right there of being a helpmate. She chopped the man's head off and brought it back to the camp. Can you imagine they sitting there looking at that? It's ruthless, right? For Israel. Look at that. That's just crazy, ain't it? In the main PFA. You down there in South Carolina with the Confederate flag on you, hanging on your bed. You live in South Carolina. Yeah, most definitely. 7 Event, you want to come on and read and do that story? We're happy. Yeah, and matter of fact, we'll do Esther too one day. But I'm trying to get, we ready to go in, man. I pray it's true, but I'm ready to get up out of here. So
yeah, me too.
We got to get ready for this. So, man, that's why I'm looking for it, looking towards that. Man, every time we go on Facebook, people want to bring up the base and he has to come on. They're scared, man. I'm like, that one guy you told me, I sent him a friend request. Man, this guy, he won't. Something wrong with that dude, man.
See what I called him?
Yeah, something wrong with that guy.
He said all that stuff, but won't even answer you.
No.
This dude called the Messiah his uncle. Dude said, he said, I love all nations. Black dude. I think that's a troll or something. Cause he be saying too much stupid shit.
He might be. I know that dude. He look crazy. Go look at his picture.
I know I seen him. I thought ain't that it sounded like North Carolina, I think.
Shoot, this thing ain't from me. South Carolina. Run that back.
Down there in that Houston area with E.
He said it might be Cliff. What? Messiah grew up together. What? He worked. Whatever. He ain't where I'm at. He where you at. All right, ready to get off, y'all. But yeah, it was good. Let me see. Josiah come back in. It was good. Josiah, you come back in. Must be in Barry. Can y'all hear me good? Because I want to do another announcement. The wine party is May the 30th, right? May the 30th. Keep that in mind. If y'all want to come, please let me know so I have a head count. May the 30th. You back on here, Josiah? Well, you might be on mute. All right. The wine party is May the 30th in Burlington, North Carolina. While Burlington Coal Factory started at. But anyway, it's May the 30th. Shalom. Come to the wine party. You in North Carolina. It's May the 30th, okay? How do we let you know? If you want to, I can put. Can you see the? Where's the private check? I don't even see it no more. A Diddy party. Now the Diddy party is in South Carolina near Columbia. Run that back having that. Y'all make sure you bring your baby oil. No, just kidding. But May the 30th, I can give you I can give you my phone. I'm gonna give you my number. I'm gonna put it in the chat. You can text me or call me. Easy. If anybody want to text or call me, let me know if y'all want to come to the wine party. May the 30th, okay? Keep that in mind. So we looking to beat the women's this year. We have a sing-off every year. The women's won last year, so we're going to win this year, y'all. Go to Mass. Hope you can come. So if anybody want to come, I put my number in the chat. Text me, let me know. Don't have no Diddy people calling my number. But anyway, ready to get off. I'd like to say shalom to you all. Glad you came on here. Two different relationships, King David and Bathsheba, Boaz and Ruth. and two different relationships. One is showing us what we shouldn't do. One is showing us how we should proceed in a relationship. Anyway, I like to say shalom, peace, and blessings. It was good. We out. May the 3rd is the wine party. Y'all see my number in the chat. Send me a text if you want to come. Shalom, peace. We gone.